This is Python's Paradise. This is your host, Greg Gilbert, aka the Python Hyena, straight out of Fredericton, New Brunswick, Canada, here on August the 9th, 2022. And folks, I have a return guest, and we are celebrating the 40th anniversary of Blade Runner.
Oh my gosh.
Which is interesting because I had author Paul M. Salmon on here, a future noir, the making of Blade Runner. And for a film that's 40th anniversary, he wishes my guest tonight a happy 29th recent birthday.
Oh,
Folk, yeah, Paul Salmon said that. He said, wish your happy 29th birthday for me.
I get the joke now. Right. Okay, we got it. We got it.
Yep.
All right.
Folks, I give you the absolutely beautiful Zora herself, Joanna Cassidy. How do you do, Joanna?
Thank you. I'm doing great. I'm doing
Yeah,
great.
yeah. And look, I'm all ready for you because you were a snake lover. That was your own snake in the movie. So I have a bunch of these, and I dug this one out, and I thought I'm going to brandish a stuffed snake during this interview.
All right, we can work with that.
Do you still own snakes?
No. No.
No.
No.
How many have you owned throughout your life?
Well, at one point in time I had six, and that anything over five makes you well, at the time, so I considered myself a herpetologist.
Mm-hmm. So why don't you own them anymore?
Well, you grow out of things,
You grow out of things?
You grow out of them.
You own a giraffe, right?
Yeah, right. Nothing exotic for me. No, just some cats, which are exotic enough. Um,
I have a kitty, and he's exotic enough. Let me see. I'm gonna
that's
bring him up here. Hi, kitty.
oh, he's a beauty. Oh my gosh, look at him. Oh, he's wonderful.
Skittles, you hear that? Skittles is like, you're exploiting me
Skittles.
for hits. You're exploiting me.
He's great.
And I'm
He,
like, you're living here for free.
there you go. He's adorable. I love them when they're sort of squishy and plump. He's
You
great.
hear that, kitty? He's like, she
I've
called
heard
me
enough.
plump. Oh,
I have heard enough.
that's right. Yeah, he still rubs against my finger even after exploiting him. So how have you been through this messy old pandemic?
No, I'm going to tell you a secret, which won't
Mhm.
be a secret after this, is that I didn't enjoy it, but I never stayed home ever.
No.
No, I did not stay home. I was out every day with a mask on or whatever I had to do. I would go out in the morning, get my coffee, get a newspaper, and that's how I'd start my day. I loved the freeway was empty, the streets were empty. It was bizarre. And then I would read about the people in the hospital. I never got it.
Neither
I
did
never
I.
got it. Knock on wood. I never got it. But I'm also vaxxed and all that other stuff. And
Same here.
but I did a movie in Puerto Rico, which is out now, and flew all through New York and Miami. It was in the airport, and the airports were empty. That was weird too. Boy, that was strange. But it's a terrible thing. But I think now we're going to be facing this the rest of eternity. Things because the cyclical nature of how, and particularly in this case with the climate change and all that, with the Alaska losing its snow and ice and things melting, what's going to start happening, this is what I believe, are that strange microorganisms are going to be coming out of the earth and catching us. And I think it's going to be a tough run. I really do.
Well, you know what? I didn't stay home either. I'm actually, when I'm not doing this, I'm actually a cleaner. I work at the hospital here, and I do a lot of terminal cleans at the hospital, and yeah, so I never got the COVID either, but
Wow,
I've been
that's
in its
something.
midst.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, but I told a few people I worked overnight last night, and I said I'm gonna have Zoran tonight, and they're like, oh. So, nonetheless, yeah, Blade Runner celebrating 40 years. Have you been able to fathom the fact that this didn't do well when it came out and now has become a major, actually, it's a classic now.
That it is. And I think it's better than the new one. Um, yeah, it is. It's a huge cult following, and it keeps reintroducing itself. With new generations. It's been fascinating. This year's been very busy with events and screenings and so on. And that's it's great to be part of it.
Hmm.
I mean, I really feel life has gone on for me. It hasn't all been about Blade Runner. It's been
Hmm.
about a lot of things, but I certainly am very honored to be a part of the film and its evolvement.
I take it you saw Blade Runner 2049. What was your take on it?
Well, you know what? To be honest with you, I need to see it again because what happened was the night of the screening, which was a huge deal. It was at the Chinese theater here, which is gigantic, and that was the night there was that terrible shooting in Las Vegas,
Oh,
with all those people were killed, and so basically it shut it down. I mean, everyone who was invited was came, but there was no press or anything like that. They had a party set up across the street, and honestly, I was so disturbed by what had happened. I really wasn't paying all the attention to the film that it deserves. I mean, certainly deserves rewatching and experiencing it. And I was very pleased that Roger Deakins won an Oscar from it. Although I think there were other films of his that deserved an Oscar more so than that. And it was pretty fabulous. But I thought the movie that he did with Angelina Jolie about World War II was phenomenal. Phenomenal.
was Unbroken?
Hmm.
Okay, that's it. Okay, yep. I saw that in the theater.
That was incredible.
Hmm.
I mean, that to me took far more effort and expertise than Blade Runner did. But that's me.
I do have Blade Runner 2049 here. I thought it was a really, really fantastic follow-up to Blade Runner. It's great to see Harrison Ford back and interesting seeing Blade Runner film with day shots. You didn't really see much of that in the original, but I still hold the original film dear to me, and I had Donnelly Heising on the other day, who of course you see under the one of the dancers under the hockey mask, when the camera pans by, and I had her on here, and of course Paul, who spoke very highly of you.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
Very nice. Good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So,
Okay.
but I got to come back to the snake thing because, of course, you own the snake, and what like what got you into owning snakes?
Um, well, my children were young, and they had a very deep fascination with reptiles.
Okay.
So I wanted to encourage that, and I had the room to have some tanks in my apartment, so I did do that, and I had those wonderful curly Q kind of little lizards. I can't remember the name of them. But one thing begets the next, and then because of my interest in reptiles, I happened to be dating a man who had a snake. So, that got me interested in that, and goes from there.
Now in Blade Runner, of course, you own the snake now. Was that the only snake you owned at that time? Or because what I'm getting at was why did you use that snake for the shoot? Was it its temperament or something like it was the easiest to
Oh,
work with?
absolutely. Well, he was
Okay.
older. He was an
Okay.
older snake, and he was very chill, and he was really relaxed, and I could work with him.
Mm-hmm.
And the others, I mean, and especially in a situation like that where there was a lot of smoke and people and crowds and hot and cold, and so he was very cooperative, and he got a paycheck.
Yeah, I loved it when Harrison Ford sticks his finger up under its underneath its head there and touches it. Harrison Ford's never gotten away from snakes since Raiders of the Lost Ark, so
Right. And he's good with them. And,
obviously, yeah, obviously. I wish that they had have shown Zora perform. You know, they said that she was doing the dance with the snake, and you hear the announcement for it, but you never got to see it.
right. Well, I would have loved doing that. We rehearsed it. It was all ready to go. All they had to do was build the set. But, I came on at the end of the film. They ran out of money and they ran out of time. There was going to be a director strike. And so they pulled that scene, which was unfortunate. And then, I did sort of a very small version of it on YouTube.
Hmm.
Yeah. So,
But of course, you got to do that whole action scene with Harrison Ford. It must have been fun trying to choke him out.
one wasn't fun for him. He got tired of it and then he put his stunt double in. Got a little annoyed with that. Ridley, one more time, Harrison, really let her choke you this time. He said, no. We did it about 8 times, and then he said, enough. And then Gary Combs came in, and we did it a lot more. So it was fine.
Well, I'll tell you, you were in great shape, and I know you didn't go through the glass and stuff like that. They of course had a double, but there was a lot of stuff you were able to do in that film. So, but you obviously had no issue with doing. Well, you weren't what they say explicitly nude, but it was tasteful. But did you ever have any issues doing stuff like that?
Oh, of course I did.
Mm-hmm.
It was truly uncomfortable to be in front of a 50, 60, 70 people. And I just rewatched it again at the Academy Museum Theater here, um, which is so beautiful, by the way. They took an old department store and turned it into this amazing museum, all about the filmmaking and how it started and the kind of machines that. Oh, it's wonderful, and the the theater is magnificent. Anyway, it's all brand new. The sound is all brand new. They were honoring it for the set images and the staging and all that. And anyway, I was sitting with a bunch of friends who had never seen it, surprisingly enough, and all of a sudden, there I am. Jeez, everything's right out there. Boy, a little shocking. But
You
no,
had
I had to get used to it, of course.
and you had the glitter on you as well.
Well, yeah, I had that.
Mm-hmm.
I had that. I mean, it gets to a point when you do you get through those first couple of times, it changes. But I did at the time want to say to everybody, okay, if I have to be this way, you have to be that way too. And, but anyway, I did finally, ultimately get comfortable with it. The movie got made.
So what was your take on playing Zora? What approach did you take for the role? Any ideas what you personally brought to it when you read the script? And
Well, yeah, I just, I knew she was a machine and man-made, but I wanted to see to it that there was more of a, like at the end after I'm dead and you see the tear coming down. I mean, I just wanted her to be a little more by
hmm
being Nexus 6. This was the next stage of them. So as they go on, they get either more human or they get more machine-like. So I chose the more human aspect of her, and I wanted you to feel something for her when she died. I wanted you to, have your heart kind of broken. I know every time I see this scene, it makes me cry when I hear the music and then that sax and uh, and that second shot where it just explodes again. It's pretty vile when you think about it. A guy shooting a woman in the back. That's pretty cowardly.
Actually, I was watching that scene with my brother the other night, and he was like, "Man, he's firing in there, and you got people walking around freely there."
Yep,
You
yep.
know?
Taking a lot of people down. I mean, but maybe that's just the future.
Well, one of the things I noticed with Blade Runner between Zora and Priss, they get pretty violent deaths,
Hmm.
you know? I mean, and I noticed with Harrison Ford's character Deckard, the only ones that he actually puts down are Zora and Priss,
Hmm.
because Sean Young's Rachel takes out, of course, Leon,
Hmm.
and of course, Roy Batty, of course, kind of shuts down on his own.
Hmm.
So they say that he was the best at what he did, but I think you guys were kind of an element above that because really he didn't get the job done without a little bit of help.
Harrison.
Yep, yep, Deckard, yep.
Mhm.
Yeah. Talk about working with Harrison Ford.
Well, well, he was wonderful with me. I mean, we got along very well. Um, I had sort of been around the film and its making because I was rehearsing the dance the whole time, and so I had a chance to hang out with him. It wasn't, you know, like meeting for the first time, and then you have a love scene. It was very, we kind of knew each other and trusted each other. A lot of it's about trust. So um, it was, it was good. It was very good.
Have you seen Harrison since the movie?
Yeah, I've run into him many times.
hmm
I mean, we don't hang out as friends, but we always acknowledge each other, and
Well,
yeah.
we lost Joe Turkel recently, and of course, we've lost Rutger Hauer. Rutger Hauer was supposed to do a convention in Toronto, and he ended up getting canceled because he had passed away,
Hmm.
and which was unfortunate. It's funny because you're not in any scenes with him, but I always felt that there was still a dynamic there because of the connection. It was like, especially when he says to Press, he says, Leon and Zora are gone, and it's like, and you feel that emotional core that
Hmm.
even though they're replicants, you're kind of you're emphasizing more
Hmm.
with them,
Yep.
you know. And then one of the things I was talking with Paul with about yesterday was how Blade Runner was so ahead of its time and predicting a lot of stuff going on now and probably very much in the future. Like we're talking about the fact that you got real dolls out right now, and I was like, was Blade Runner the first or one of the first to be tampering with that idea? You know?
And what did Paul say?
And Paul, Paul Paul was definitely in agreement. He said, "Who was it too?" I interviewed somebody who was actually did a movie where a real doll was used as a stunt
Oh,
when somebody's supposed to be thrown off a building. They
oh,
used a real doll.
oh yeah. Oh yes. Yep.
Yep,
Yep.
absolutely. Yeah. Well, talk about of course, you had a double that went through the shattered through the glass, but talk about you obviously did a lot of running in that scene. That was a lot of that was you, right?
Hmm. It's all me.
Because obviously you keep yourself in shape. Talk about the endurance of doing that. Obviously, you keep yourself in shape very well, probably better than me anyway.
Well, that's just to me is just part of being feeling good and going into the future and getting older, and I mean, you don't have to stop the things that keep you youthful and keep you energetic. It's all about
Mm-hmm.
you know. Oh, let me see if I can get my little. No, is he? Come here, Scout, Scouty.
Ha 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 ha
I'm gonna
ha.
show you my baby. Oh
You
no, he was
kitty. Oh, you ran away, huh?
no, but no, that's it's all part of my process. I wouldn't do well if I didn't exercise. I've done it all my life. Funny, my mother did it too. My mother,
Mm-hmm.
big exerciser. My dad not, and my sister not. Couldn't care less. Doesn't walk. Doesn't do anything. It blows my mind. I can't live unless I work out.
Yeah, I like going for a walk. Walk is such a simple form of exercise, yet
It's
they
so
say it's
good.
the healthiest form, and it's
Good.
kind of nice. You find a nice area or neighborhood to walk around in.
Sure.
Yeah, because I know when I went to Toronto for the cons, I would, well, obviously I'd take a subway, but subway you could stop at any stop and just walk around new places, and it's very nice. Like I don't get enough walking in as I should, because I'm usually tired by the time I'm done my shift at the hospital. But we have an area here where it's good for it, and I don't run or anything like that because I don't like to tire myself out, but but all that stuff is good. What other exercise training do you have, like martial arts or anything like that?
Um, uh, I did that for a while. I
Mm-hmm.
did that for a little bit. I did the Russian training, very intense. Um, it's got MAGA or something. I can't remember the name of it, but it's a form of like jujitsu. Some of that stuff is a little hard on me now. I can't take falls like I used to, or I just don't want to take the fall. Rather
No,
go
you don't
to
want to.
a
No.
padded, workout thing. That would be okay, but yeah, doesn't interest me. Now I like working out on the Pilates.
Mm-hmm.
That's just fine for me, and walking. It's good. Free weights.
What kind of food do you like?
Well, I like grilled things, but what I eat now is I don't eat meat anymore. I eat those absolute burgers, which are delicious. They're
You know what? I
veg-
like them, but be honest with you, yeah.
I think they're great. I have no problem with that. Great on a bun, just like a hamburger. I love salads. Um, I'm a bit of a chocoholic. I have a, it's hard for me to resist. Um, Cheese, no, not so good, but I love it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
the thing is, I don't. I mean, unless I'm traveling, don't really like to sit down and have a meal, and that's something that it's kind of gone out of favor with me because I have so much to do. I'm always on the run, so it's I don't cook for myself that much. I'm happier if I drink a meal,
Mm-hmm.
drink a green meal or beets or some kind of thing like that that you can put a little protein powder in. I'm totally happy with that. I'm content. It
Mm-hmm.
fills you up, and then I'm not taking the time to cook anything, which is still, by the way, a pleasure. My daughter the other day was. I said, let's make my birthday here because I want to be just home and with my son and daughter, and then I'll throw another party later. And she said, fine. I said, okay, well, why don't you pick up some chicken and some fish, and we'll grill it, and I have some mushrooms here and some salad. Well, she's a very, very busy person, and so is my son. So she came with my beautiful new speakers that she brought me, and I said, where's the chicken and the fish? She said, oh, I thought you were making dinner. I said, no, why would I make dinner on, why would I make my dinner on my birthday? I mean, my God, that's impossible. So anyway, I said, right, you know what? Well, the mushrooms were already chopped up. They were cooking, and I said, let's do this. We'll make a risotto. Go into the pantry, and I'm sure, like everyone, there's a lot of things in the pantry that don't get used, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, we made the garden, picked some herbs, um, threw in a few vegetables, and fantastic risotto. That was it. That's enough. Enough.
Now, when you do have your party, are you going to invite Paul since wants to celebrate your 29th?
He's a little far away to sort of get in the car and kind of drive over.
That's what he said yesterday. He said, when you have Joanna on, tell her I said happy 29th.
Okay. All right. He would have been. Ordinarily, he would have been. But
There you go. There you
not.
go. Talk about the costuming for playing Zora. How long did it take you? Obviously, you had all those glitter things on you, but how long did the process take for you on that?
Well, to actually, first we had to decide what the costume was going to be. And I had
Hmm.
something that I thought was kind of nice that a friend of mine had crocheted, like a bra and slight pant sort of thing, and
Hmm.
tried that one on, and nobody liked it. I said, no, we're bringing in this guy named Charles Node, and he's going to design something. And so he did. He did several sketches, and they were that Grace Jones was going to play this part, right? Did you know that?
Yeah, but nothing against Grace Jones. We want Joanna Cassidy.
So luckily, it didn't work out. So and then Charles came in and designed these really exotic and erotic outfits. Oh my God. Okay, so he made up some samples. We tried them out. It all worked. It was great. But the actual getting the makeup on, the sequins and everything, that took hours. So 40 years ago, we had these little things, these little tape boxes, so I put in a cassette and plugged myself in, and that was that.
I remember those little tape boxes.
Well,
Uh,
it really does seem like yesterday, and it doesn't.
I would have been 10 years old when Blade Runner came out in 1982. I've seen it screened a few times. Actually, I took some film classes and we had a science fiction class, which was fun. And the professor played both the narration and the director's cut of Blade Runner. I like the director's cut best, you know, but there are so many different things and different versions of Blade Runner. It's I'm waiting for them to do that with the 2049, have like 8 different versions, you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm not even sure what
It
they
could
called.
take years. It could take a long time because it certainly took years for them to fix my scene. I wouldn't give up on that though. I don't give up. I have to say it. That's one characteristic about myself that I can step back and admire. I don't give up.
Hmm.
So
But the scene where, of course, Zora's going through the glass in slow motion, be tragic scene, but beautifully done. Like we mentioned, the music and whatnot. The music really highlights the emotion of the scene, you know.
it does.
And yep, and I love the neon that you see in when she going through the glass and stuff like that. I thought that was all beautifully done.
It's gorgeous. I told you it makes me cry every time I see it. I just tear up and oh my God, this is phenomenal. And you know, a death scene is I've only seen a couple death scenes that really have stood out to me. I know Marlon Brando did one where he fell face down in a river. I never forgot that. I never forgot the one that Gene Hackman did in Under Fire, where he just kind of looked over and laughed, and the next thing you know, he was shot, and boom, he went down. I mean, there are just certain ways that actors can pull that off that you go, wow, they're very special. And I think that this death scene is phenomenal. And there's something about it that's just very, very, very special. And I think with that, we're going to have to say goodbye because I've got to get somewhere on time.
You gotta go somewhere.
I do. I do.
Well, you know what? I hope that this was good for you. I was so happy to have you come on here today, you know,
Pleasure.
and talk about Blade Runner and but before I let you, actually, I was going to ask you one more question because I don't know how often you get to do the conventions, but I know I've seen your picture on a few of them, you know, and um, what's the most interesting thing you've ever been asked to sign?
Somebody's foot.
Wow.
I wouldn't do it.
Oh, you wouldn't do it?
Just something. It was a little just too out there for me. I think his feet were really bizarre. So there was something about it that I just went, no, I don't, I don't think so. You know, I'm just a little, and I'm not, I'm weird as not, outside my ballpark. I accept most people for who they are and what they do, unless it's super extreme and that's, it's offensive. But um, that one was a little rough. But I always have fun at them. I love doing it. I love meeting the fans. I love it. Love it. I'd love to come to Canada.
You know, I'd love to have you. Is there a way, I have your email. Is there a way I could PayPal you and get an autographed picture?
Sure,
I would
sure.
love to do that. We'll do that through because I don't mind paying for the picture, you know, handles your postage and stuff. But yeah, I'd love to.
Absolutely. We can do
Absolutely. Well,
it.
before I let you go, would like you to do a plug for my show.
Okay.
Just state your name and say you played Zora in Blade Runner and say you're listening to Greg Gilbert on Python's Paradise.
Greg.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hi, this is Joanna Cassidy. I am Zora from Blade Runner, and I am listening to Greg Gilbert's Python. I can do it again.
Python's Paradise.
Python. Okay. Hi there, this is Joanna Cassidy. I played Zora in the original Blade Runner, and I'm listening to Greg Gilbert's Python Paradise. Coming
Python's
right up.
Paradise. You know what? It was
Python's
wonderful.
what?
Python's Paradise.
I did say it right. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? I gotta say, Paul M. Salmon broke the record on here last night because, and this rarely happens, but he was on here. Most of it was him talking. He was on here for 5 hours and 20 minutes.
Oh my God. Well, that would
Yep,
be that would be.
yep. I had him on at 3 o'clock my time because I'm 4 hours ahead of you, you know.
Mhm.
And he was in I think New York time, but I had him on at 3 o'clock, and it was about 8:30 or somewhere on that when he was done, and he laughed. He said, "I knew it was going to be a long one." I said, "Doesn't matter to me, you know. I'll take what I can get. I've had long ones before." But I almost think some people are trying to compete. But
No kidding. Yep.
yeah, but it was wonderful having you on, and I really
Thank you.
appreciate what you've done, and we share a love for members of the reptile family. We both love cats, you know.
All right.
So I hope that we can get you at one of the cons here. I'd love to meet
I
you.
hope so. We'll go to work on it and I'll meet you in person.
There you
Thank
go. Absolutely.
All righty.
Joanna, thank you so much. God bless you. Stay safe and keep doing what you do. You look great.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Okay
You're
there. All right. Ciao. Be well.
Bye-bye. You too. Bye-bye.